With the Iowa Caucus just days away, what better place to start a video series titled Bold Rose than Joe Biden? Big surprise that the Democratic Party's establishment candidate is a creepy old man with a penchant for inappropriate contact with women and a specter of corruption looming overhead. At least he's not out of touch. Did I mention that he's running as a white Obama? See, he's not running on any new ideas. He's explicitly running on old ideas and branding himself as Obama Light. He's telling us to look at Trump, look at all the bad things that Trump is doing as if we don't already know, and saying, let's go back in time and I will do my best impersonation of Barack Obama as a 70-year-old white man. His vision for healthcare and criminal justice reform is about as outdated as he is. Joe Biden has no appeal. None whatsoever. Joe Biden is more boring in milk toast than milk or toast. What is milk toast? But seriously, who wants to get up out of bed in the morning for Joe Biden? Certainly no woman that I've ever known. Somebody ought to remind him that Joan Rivers is dead and Betty White's voting for Bernie Sanders. That's like waking up to get a cavity filled. That's like waking up to do your taxes. That's like waking up to go to the DMV. That's like waking up to get a colonoscopy. Jury duty. You get the point. It's not something you want to do unless it's bad for your health. In this case, it actually is. Donald Trump. That said, he does touch on a broad base of support, including African American voters. Oh yeah, Joe Biden is electable. If you overlook the fact that he's embroiled in a corruption scandal in which his son sat on the board of a Ukrainian gas company and received tens of thousands of dollars a month for... So if you're looking for a plain old good-fashioned 90s white Democrat, look no further than Joe Biden. I could take a minute to talk about Steyer and Bloomberg, but they're billionaires and they're financing their own campaign, so why should I give them any of my time and free advertisement? Besides, they stand literally no pathway to the presidency, so good luck. Maybe they'll learn the lesson that Trump did, and they'll run as Republicans next time. Amy Klobuchar. Never mind. Tulsi Gabbard. 2 words. Russian asset. And it's not just because Hillary Clinton said it. Trust me, nobody likes Hillary Clinton. It's because of the fact that you are promoting Russian talking points. It's because of the fact that you are making claims like the Syrian government has not attacked its own people when we know that the UN has said that they have, in fact, attacked their own people with chemical weapons. But you've been conciliatory to Vladimir Putin while attacking the United States. It sounds so much like you are supporting the Russians. But seriously, information trickles down from RT and into organizations like Rising and Jimmy Dore, and it then just ends up being regurgitated out of your mouth. So, we're on to you, Tulsi. Buttigieg. Buttigieg is literally everything that is wrong with the Democratic Party today. Buttigieg represents nothing but identity politics. He is the personification of identity politics. Let's get this straight. He's a military veteran. He is a millennial. He is gay and married and a Rhodes Scholar. My biggest criticism of Pete Buttigieg is the fact that he is so fake. He's not coming up with his own ideas. He is only defining himself as a point of contrast to other candidates. If Elizabeth Warren says Medicare for all, he says Medicare for all who can afford it. Pete Buttigieg, being a young gay combat vet, shouldn't qualify him to be the President of the United States. It shouldn't qualify him to be the mayor of the city that he runs. But that's identity politics for you. He is the Donald Trump of the liberal base. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that if it weren't for the reality that this guy has been defining himself as a point of contrast to candidates like Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, and Joe Biden. He has purposefully said that his positions were evolving over time, and in that sense, they weren't fully developed at the outset of this election. Bernie Sanders has been taking the positions that he's been taking for his entire lifetime, certainly in the public light. And this guy hasn't even had the positions that he's had for a year. Elizabeth Warren, wow, she really was selling me there for a very long time. Elizabeth Warren is not a Native American, and I'm wondering if she's actually a liberal because of the establishment that's supporting her now as the second choice behind Joe Biden, of course. Just with everything that's occurred with her little coup d'etat attempt in CNN, in which she alleged that Bernie Sanders was a sexist and making allegations about him that suggested that a woman could never be president. In either case, for right now, I'm going to put her to the side because the most electable qualified candidate happens to be a 78-year-old socialist Jew by the name of Bernie Sanders, and that's who I'm voting for. With that said, all of these candidates are better options than Donald Trump. But ultimately, in a democracy, it is your choice, and I hope that you choose wisely.